Welcome back. Welcome back.
Oh,
Basic Banter for Witches. I normally would have a song, but I was too excited that I forgot. So
I
here it
know.
is.
I know. I'm doing so hard to kind of like contain all of this excitement. But we have a special guest today.
Yes. And Jessica is
Very
literally,
excited.
Jessica has been fangirling so hard that like she had to take a couple deep breaths before we even let her into
In
our
the
Zoom
room.
because she didn't want to scare her away with
I was like,
this.
she's gonna be like the what are they doing? And it's just me going, anyways.
Yeah, no
So
kidding. Just
so for those of you on YouTube, you may recognize a similar or sorry, a familiar face as well as a familiar background. Maybe, maybe. But otherwise, we're so happy and blessed to have Megan with Solar Glow Meditations with us today for a little chit chat. So,
You guys,
welcome.
yeah, thank you very much for coming.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
so good to be here. Yeah,
Oh,
I just don't even, I'm excited.
you're excited. I'm
good.
so glad. Everybody's
We're
excited.
excited that you're excited.
Yeah. I guess I first kind of encountered your videos, I think as most people probably do, like scrolling on TikTok as you do. But I think because, we have similar interests, let's go with that. And the dowsing rods is your primarily maybe your main tool that you use on TikTok. I was like, oh, I love dowsing rods because we've already kind of dove into that in a few different areas of our podcast. But I'm like, oh, this
Yeah.
is cool. But then it was like the questions you're asking. And that's what I was like, okay, so I never skip a video. I've seen that in the comments though. Like I never skip a Megan video. It's like I know, like you can't. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it
I
kind
I
of,
had to go out of my way to not know anything about you because I wanted to come in just like completely blind. I'm like, just tell me what your gift is, and I'll just become obsessed with you. So
Exactly. Yeah. Sorry, I was just gonna ask. Sorry, and see this is what I mean. Like the audio is kind of funky, so I'm like late on my end. So I'm so sorry. So Megan, I guess we always like to take it way back to like the beginning. If you, I guess, have always kind of found like this area of interest, or when did this kind of start entering your life in a serious manner?
the dowsing rod specifically, or like the
Well,
whole.
the whole thing, really, because it's just one channel. Open it up if you want.
Yeah, well, so I guess like growing up, I have always had deja vu and I've always dreamed really vividly. And so there was like this period when I was like a teenager, kind of like digging through this stuff. And I was like, oh, this is sort of interesting. But then I got like sidetracked and distracted from other things. And so it sort of like took a back seat and paused in like my life. But then, what was it? It was probably like 3 or 4 years ago now. My mother-in-law is a Reiki master, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to be attuned?" And I was like, absolutely, yes. I have no idea what any of this is, but let's do it. And so I got attuned, and she like was just so incredible. Like I had this like energy just flow through my body and like burst me open, and I was like, holy cow, this is like very real. Like I've dabbled in this, but I didn't quite understand what that meant before. And so like since then I've just gone down this like path of like trying to explore everything I can about spirituality. So I've like taken clairvoyance classes. I got into the dowsing rods after seeing like people on TikTok do it. And
Yeah.
like it, there's so much to do and explore, and I just love it.
Yeah,
amazing.
I feel like we did one of these episodes about spiritual seekers, right? I
I
think
think
we did.
so. That's
And
what
like, because
you
that,
did.
yeah, I think it might have been something I did on my own. I'm not sure, but it was very similar because it's like once you kind of get like a taste for this area, it's like you cannot get enough, and then you have to like sample everything, and it's like we're on this like little. Sometimes that is your full role is just seeking for all of these things to, if not introduce them to yourself, but like to the others around you. I always say it's like left in the wake sometimes, but that's where the effects of everything else kind of spread. So yeah.
Well, and that's what I like about the dowsing rods. Like you can ask questions about like anything and everything, and then people go in
Everything.
like in holes after the videos, like what the heck is prana? What is like how does witchcraft work? Like all of it.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. And like, again, watching your videos, I think it's amazing how you were able to say, like, stay so, what's the word? Like, not like centered, but like, I mean, because I do, I cannot, my words are gone. That's gone. I don't know. I do my pendulum. I'm like, what is this thing called? I do like cards and I do pendulum and stuff like that. And I find it's a very fine line to walk where my ego is not involved, right? So when you're doing those kinds of readings, like how do you keep your ego out of it?
Uh, so actually I've sort of trained myself so because like every time I go to do it for a camera, I'm like sitting down in front of my camera. I've got my like lights or whatever.
Yeah.
There's like something that makes my ego go away in all of this. And so like I feel like if I come out from behind the camera, like people tell me like when they meet me in person, I'm like exactly the same, but I'm like I feel like there's a little bit of a different energy going on. So I don't know. I think there's
Yeah.
something about it.
Love
It's
it.
like you've
It
put
makes
your
me
work
think
hat on and like spirit's like, we're working now.
yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Are there any other, like, I guess, not necessarily areas of interest, because obviously there's many, but any other things that you offer? Because I know you do meditations. But is there any like anything else that you do? Do you do tarot? You know, yada yada.
Yeah, so I do like distance Reiki sessions exclusively on my YouTube, but that for some reason that doesn't take off in short form videos on TikTok or Instagram. So I'm like, okay, YouTube's great. And so I do that, but when I do it, I will pull tarot cards to kind of guide whatever the session is for the day. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna go what the energy is that we need to work on. And then I'll take crystals and I'll kind of use that to kind of guide the energy through the session. So kind of
Wow.
what I like
That's
doing.
amazing.
Like that's very like intuitively led, it feels like. Kind of like feels like a right step for you. That's very cool. And now I guess, and I'm sorry, Brittany, you can jump in at any time if you want, but
No, I'm
Megan's
just
my guest,
having
okay?
fun. I'm having fun.
Um, so is anybody else in your family like in this kind of ways? You said your mother-in-law is like Reiki master, but is there anybody else in your like bloodline that could be into this?
My mom dreams a lot, but apart from that, nobody's really into it. Like when I first started doing it, they're like, okay, that's cute, kind of weird, but whatever. But then now they're like, oh, you have made like a thing out of this. Like we'll pay a
Yeah.
little bit more attention. It's still like kind of just an ancillary interest. Like nobody's out doing the dowsing rods or anything. Occasionally, like my parents will send me a question like, hey, can you ask about this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. That's at least
Yeah.
they know they trust enough to be like, if you want to ask them this, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love
Now,
that.
where did you grow up? Sorry, you grew up on the West Coast?
Yeah, so I'm in Washington State, north of Seattle
Yeah.
area.
Oh, very good. Okay, awesome. Yeah, very cool. I knew you were on that side of things, but very cool. I guess it's kind of like one of those environments to thrive in that kind of like alternative new age kind of style. Have you felt like it's been not necessarily easy to blend in, but like to find, you know, different niches and different like soul family?
Yes. Yeah. Well, so it's been like I've been here most of my life, and so I didn't pay attention to these things until like looking into them for myself. But since I've like become aware of like spirituality and kind of what it means and how to find those people, I feel like there's all these like groups and people that have like sort of come out of the word work that have been here all along. I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's been really nice, but I don't feel like this is like Washington is like a very nice place to live and it feels like it's a very open-minded place, but it doesn't feel like there isn't this other places, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, you guys live, do you feel like there's kind of like metaphysical shops or things like that?
Oh yeah.
Thankfully there is here. I know there's not everywhere has them, but we have, I would say a small handful of them in like our city, and
Yeah.
thankfully I'm so because like I definitely go to them often and you get to know the owners and they like you have relationships with them and then you meet people through those shops and
Or the
yeah.
courses that they offer too, which has been really fortunate for us to kind of try
Yeah.
things like that and in that environment, like literally. I think the correspondence side of thing is really, you know, the most available thing. And like, hell, why not? But yeah, having like when we've done our candle magic classes or our alchemy classes, it's like to be sitting in like in the environment is something like nothing else. Yeah.
Well, there's like this kind of energy that goes with it too. Like I don't know
Yeah. No.
about
Yeah.
like being in person.
Yeah, yeah, totally agree. Um, yeah, so that's really cool. Um, I guess sorry, but like I wrote down some questions and this is like never, but like this is how nervous I was. I'm like, what are we gonna talk about? I'm like, everything. Like, what are you gonna forget? Oh my goodness. Number one question. Do you ever get overstimulated or overwhelmed by the amount of like attention your TikToks or your like things get?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, so my little sister's getting married, which I'm so excited for her. But like, I went with her to go pick up her dress last weekend, and we walked in, and the gal was like, "I know you," and I was like, "Thank you so much." I'm like, she was the sweetest gal, so sweet. But I was like, "But we're here for my sister. Let's," and she did a great job of pivoting after like she kind of
Oh,
like
good.
I was still like, oh, this is like a new thing I'm not used to doing. Like having people recognize me out in public is totally a new thing. And been like everybody I've talked to has been so nice and so wonderful. It's just it's new. It's not something I'm used to. So
Yeah.
it's overwhelming. It's just it's new, I guess. Yeah.
Because this is
You're
not
famous.
sorry, is this your main gig now? Like
It work
you don't have to
full
share
time.
if you want to keep it totally separate, you do not have to mention what you do full
You don't
time or
have to.
anything. We like, yeah, just curious what you do for life.
So uh disclose like where I work, but
No.
I am a intelligence slash analytics manager. So
That
I love
sounds complicated.
Sounds so smart.
Whoa.
Analytical. Exactly. Well, you're good. Not like, and that's really nice because it seems like you can work a couple different sides of your brain, like working
Yeah.
this and then having that. It's like that is a totally different compartment.
Yes, it's my job. It keeps me grounded. Like I'm here in reality most of the time.
Yeah.
Oh, and I want to go like do dowsing rods. Let's go talk to spirit.
Yeah,
Oh, I
that's
love that.
great. And
That is
now,
so.
sorry, I'm like, and now I'm gonna ask you more questions. Sorry, Brittany. Feel free, like I said, Brittany, you can
No,
take it.
if I need to, I will. I'm
Yeah.
just enjoying the show.
Yeah. Do you, I mean, I think it seems like you have quite a like an established relationship with your spirit guides and like with your main like spirit. Have you been introduced to the spirit that you're communicating with directly, or is it like spirit in general?
Well, so I kind of discern who I talk to when I get on the rods, and um I just kind of go through like this whole series of questions where I ask to figure out who it is. And there's some energies that I've worked with enough that I sort of recognize who they are. But like before all of this, I wouldn't have been able to tell you like who my spirit guides are, how many there are, like what their energy feels like, or any of that. So I actually like the dowsing rods have kind of brought me into that, and I've been learning a lot. So
Yeah. How do you like know what questions to ask? I guess before you even get to the ones that people want you to ask, but like I've never been one to sit like again, because I know that my ego gets like too far involved in that in my version of it or whatever, right? But yeah, how do you feel the pull? Do you know what I mean to do it?
yeah, so a lot of times what I end up asking about are like if I do it just for myself personally, it's like whatever's going on in my life. Like, hey, should I do this thing or this thing at work? Like, hey, what should I talk about with this family member or whatever it might be? But I agree. When I start to do it for myself, my ego totally gets in the way. And so there's actually been a few times where like I'll ask myself or ask the rods questions for myself, and it might be like the right answer in the moment, but it's missing some of the context around it. But I'm so like emotionally invested in it that I can't get past whatever that question is or what else I should be
Mm.
asking. So I've actually kind of shied away from doing it for myself a little bit just because I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna get myself in trouble or like get myself worked up over
Yeah.
something that's actually game.
Totally agree. That's like whenever I pull cards, I find that like if I were to pull for anybody else, I'm like, oh, that's what it means, and I'm so confident. Da, 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 da. And I pull for myself, I'm like, I don't even know what it says. I can't read. I don't know. It's just doesn't. I don't know.
Or you're like, no, I don't like that answer. Try again.
No,
It's not for me.
like that can't be it. It's impossible.
I've done too, and then like sometimes the rods come back with a different answer. Actually, I've done this too. Like you can use them to like find lost things in your house, and so like I'm like, okay, point they are, and they tell me it's there, and I'll go there, and then I can't find it, and I'm like, no, no, this is wrong. Tell me again, and so it'll send me somewhere else in the house, and then when we do eventually find it, it's like right in the spot where they told me they were originally.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, I
Like
doubt it.
I actually love that. And actually, because as people do who like see things and stuff, when you had said like doing the rods for yourself, I actually like envisioned you with like a little mini like travel set at work. Like, should I just just like tiny little, like, which
Just little-
I don't know why I
just
came
like
up, like,
small
I don't know, it's hilarious, but
That at my desk, not even joking.
Stop it. That's
it was
amazing.
like, should I don't know why, I was just like, I saw, I was like, that's where,
Okay,
Okay.
but I also have some like followers in like the European area, especially, and they actually do make rods that are like shorter and they move a lot faster. There's not as much to move.
I
I'm like,
honestly, I should look into that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I have a question then. Do the rods that you have currently, all of the rods that you have, because you have a couple sets, do you make your own, or have you found a place that you've purchased them from that you're like, yep, this is where I get them from, this is where I feel the best place? And I have just have heard like mixed, so I'm very curious of what you do. Or have you ever tried to make your own?
I haven't tried to make your own, so I know you can. You can like take coat hangers and bend them and put them in like a straw and hold them. I haven't tried that, but I've heard a lot of people have had great success with that. The place I send everybody is actually Amazon because they're like $10. They're not
Oh,
expensive.
amazing.
Yeah.
We're gonna link that in the show notes, and we'll get
Amazon,
we'll
they
get
don't
Megan's
need the
code.
link.
We'll get Megan's code, and then she'll get paid. a
Oh
commission
yeah,
for
unless you've got a shop. Do you have an Amazon shop?
I do have an affiliate link.
Perfect. We'll
Amazing.
tag
We're
it in
gonna
the
put
show
that in the
notes.
show notes.
Just say, listen, Amazon does need the money, but like we'll give you some money.
But
Absolutely.
Megan needs the money.
Absolutely. Let's get her some coffee money.
Fine.
Oh God, I love
No, that's so
that.
funny.
Good.
So how do
Yeah.
people go about submitting questions? Oh, I'm so sorry, Megan. What were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say the other place that I've gotten them from is TikTok Shop. They're also like $10 there. I like the
Yeah.
Amazon one better, but if
So,
you want to,
Yeah, that's
I don't know if that's a thing. Is it a thing in Canada, Britt?
TikTok shop.
Yeah.
I
Is it
keep
like a
hearing
separate app?
about it.
Because it's not a thing in Europe, and I'm like, I don't know. I have not seen it, and it's on mine all the time. They're like TikTok shop. I'm like, I don't. It's
I
not a
keep
thing.
hearing about it also, but I don't know. I have to like have an account, I guess, to like deal with
Oh yeah, you don't
TikTok.
have to. Don't get an account because
This is how like zero I am with it. I've got
Okay.
Instagram and I barely work. So,
That's it.
but yeah, TikTok shop may be only a US thing right now.
I feel like it is.
Okay.
The US have they have very similar things to us, obviously, but definitely gatekeep some of those things.
I don't know why. Like we're
No.
not that much like the world.
I know. Yeah, I don't know, but definitely one of those things. I've definitely noticed that, but good to know anyways for people who, because we do have some American listeners, so check it out.
It looks
pardon me. So I was just gonna ask, yeah, how do people submit questions to you? Do you go through your comments to get them? Do you like have it? I guess you got your email.
Yeah, so I started with getting them out of the comment section, but I actually put together a Google form so anybody can go question and it goes to basically an Excel spreadsheet that
Yeah.
has all.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
Yeah.
That is excellent.
it really helps me because oh my gosh, I think to date I've had like 22 or 23,000 questions submitted. So
Mhm.
I a lot of time writing them down by hand when I first started. It takes way too
Mhm.
much time and I find them all.
No, exactly. And like you're like into the data, so I'm sure like a Google Sheet is right up your alley.
Yeah, make some pretty charts out of it or word clouds,
Yeah.
whatever.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Like, oh.
You
I'm
know,
like a
you get-
spreadsheet girl as well. It's like my
Jessica
inner
is like so turned on right now. She's just like, whoa,
I love a
we
good
have
spreadsheet.
so much numbers. Oh Lordy.
I
Yeah.
love a good spreadsheet. I like do like not accounting, but I do bookkeeping and like accounts stuff and number bits as well. That's like one of my other things. So I'm like, oh yes, spreadsheets. Yes. Google Forms. Yes. It's so good.
Excel, is that like your thing?
That's like I would say probably not
your
my
main
main
thing.
one, but like probably my main thing. I do like a bunch of different things, but this is like I do have my own like little firm of bookkeeping and virtual assisting and that, and then I work for fun here in town in Killarney and where I live in Ireland. So that's my like get out of the house and away from the children job. So yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Of all the questions, or not of all the questions, but in I guess in your history here, are there any questions that you are like so flabbergasted by that people would like ask that like are that have stuck with you?
Yes, actually, there was one that I was like, where did this question come from? And I've since learned. Somebody asked if Kane is Bigfoot reincarnated,
Pain.
or
Okay. Like,
like the Bible.
yeah.
And I didn't know this at the time, but apparently this is like one of the teachings of like Mormonism, is that Cain has reincarnated as Bigfoot, I think is what it is. And I had no idea.
Like
never
Cain
heard-
and Abel?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess, okay. If it's part of Mormonism, you said though?
That's what I understand. Yeah.
Never, I would never put that together. I'm like, was he a giant? Is that what they are? Is that is Bigfoot a giant? I don't know.
I mean, I think they're tall. I think they're like 10 feet, but like
Yeah.
Cain was like a normal sized human, right? I
Right?
don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. 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 Okay. Well, that's interesting. That would stick with me, I think, as well. I totally get that. Oh gosh. Yeah, because you do like an average of, oh my God, there's one fly. I'm so sorry. It's like buzzing around. That's what I'm like doing. If you see me doing like this, I'm like, that's what I'm fighting. I'm fighting
That's
a
the way
fly.
the spirit. She's like, get out, not return.
We've had like really good weather the last few days. We've had the hottest days this year in the last like few days. So which is great, but then when it's cold outside, all of the crap comes inside and it's flies and spiders. And the size of the spiders, I don't even have anything to accurately show you how big it was, but my daughter, okay, we are sidetracked. This is what we do. I'm so sorry, Megan. So we were at the beach today and it was so nice. Like, let's go to the beach because we won't get a chance to for the rest of the year, probably till next summer. And we have this like little like sand bucket and spade and like a little watering can. And we're sitting in the sand and I'm like eating whatever, eating some hummus and whatever. And my son's over there playing and Maria's just packing the sand away. And she's like, Mommy, there's a spider. I was like, oh, is there? And it was like this big. And it was like, okay, maybe not like not the body, but you know, the body was like big. And then the art and like really thick, hairy legs. And it's like just casually sitting in the watering can. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh, thanks,
Throw it into
darling.
the
Like,
ocean.
oh, and like I was chatting with somebody. So I actually had to do like a tabletop to like, because I like moved it and it like scurried. Oh God, like itchy palms scurried. Ugh. Anyway,
Oh, yes.
and I'm like, I'm like, is it away from me? And Maria's like totally chill. She's like, I'm like, is it gone? Good.
She's not afraid of things like you are. Jessica doesn't handle bugs well, as you have seen. She's not a big fan of bugs. And so for her kids to just not care is even fun.
I know, but I've also tried to teach them that it's not a big deal. Do you know what I mean? They're like, it's fine. I'm gonna burn this house down, but it's fine, you know.
Yeah.
Like Maria was in the bath tonight too. I'm like, there's another fucking spider. Pardon my language. This is one of those podcasts I can swear. But I'm like, it's fine. I said, oh, another spider friend. And then we have these like the gentle like claw things where you can like catches it in its like things, and then you just sorry, I know watch
For
on this will
everyone
be
who's
the
listening
clip.
on just audio, it just think of like the claw from a vending machine coming in, picking
I
up the spider,
It's like-
moving the spider.
It's like wire like hands. I don't know. You like hold it and it like opens and it like
Is
gently.
that like a pickle scooper? Like you put those like pickle or like asparagus things you like put in the jars and just takes one of your goodies
Kind of, but like it's like I don't
for
have-
spiders.
it's like a wire. I can't even. I could go get it, but I'm not gonna. Anyways, there you go. Spiders.
It'll be linked in the Amazon storefront. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. I'll send it to your storefront. Yeah. I don't know. It's like a humane way to catch them and release them. Oh my God. But everything that I'm like touching now, I'm like, oh, there's a curl back here. I'm like, ah, spider. Anyways,
Could be spider. Yeah, that's a yeah.
not a
Just
good
get
time.
like, because we're like in the midst of spider season right now here.
Oh my God.
How big are your spiders? How big do they tend to get?
Not as big as that. Ours are like little.
Oh my God.
Are they pretty do you worry about them at all? Like, are they poisonous or are they just like annoying as hell?
No, I think there's like one variety that you semi have to worry about, but like not really because they're not very common. So
Yeah.
That's nice.
I
That's
know.
nice.
I feel like,
Do you
yeah,
have
like
just thinking of like weather and all the bugs and stuff like that. Did you guys have like a really horrible wasp season where you are?
we didn't.
No? Just here then?
no, we had bad wasps, but no, Saskatoon is bad for wasps.
Wasp this year, like my son got bit like under his eye this year, and like it's crazy. Like you'll have like wasp traps and they're like packed full of like hundreds of them. It's crazy. So I didn't know if that was just like an us thing or if it's like an everywhere
Just
thing.
us. There's like, it's like one of those things. Pardon me.
Spiders.
It's like my it's like okay, I could do without those. Just
You said rats?
right, rats and mice. Yeah.
Oh, fair.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not ideal.
Not an ideal. I mean, I wouldn't want to see a rat. I think I can handle a mouse. Rats are like pigeons, and I think they're the dirtiest things. They're like pigeons and flies. Do you know what I mean? Like they go on anything and they eat anything, and I'm like, no, thank you. Mm.
Actually, this cat like hanging around our house for like the last couple months, and she caught one the other day. Like she just had it casually in his mouth, and it like the rat was like half the size of the cat. I couldn't believe she had caught it. Like
No way.
gross.
And were you just like, here, girl, here, take all the treats.
Girl,
can
you
stay
are you run this house.
Or adopt. We have been chosen by the cat.
Amazing.
That's fair. Yeah. Those are the best kind. Yeah. No,
Love that.
definitely. So are you a cat lady or are you a dog lady? Or
I'm
animal?
actually a cat, so we have a dog, but yeah, I do like. I can't have them.
Can't have them. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, that's all right. Respect though.
That's
Are you
totally
good?
fair.
People.
I am I love both so much, but I'm truly a dog person.
Aw.
Yeah, I love both. I'm so allergic to cats, but it won't stop me from taking the cat and being
Yeah.
so in love with them that I just die a little bit. But no dogs though. Ugh, can't help it. I have two
Mm.
giant bears and yeah, wouldn't change a thing.
And
What
I'm
is your
like,
what is your dog name?
well, yeah.
What was that?
What's your pup's name?
Oh, his name is Patch. He's a Great Dane,
Patch.
and he's 12 next week, so he's
Oh,
pretty old.
Oh,
Patch.
a
Oh,
patch.
sweet.
Patch. The giant Great Dane. Oh my God. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so good. I like
What kind
the
of
opposite.
trip?
I like cats. What?
I
Oh, what kind
interrupted.
Oh.
Finish up.
Or you're like, I'm like, what do I have?
Nope.
That's my mole.
Nope,
That's on my
nope,
face.
literally just me scratching my face. No.
My mother tried to pick that up a year ago. She's like, what is that? It's on my face. It's been there
No,
many,
Mom.
many, many times in my life. Anyways, I'm a cat lady. I like dogs. I like all animals, but I love cats. There's something about a cat. I love aloofness. I love it. But yeah.
It just means that as we were growing up, my parents were just like, here, let's have it all. So we
Let's
had
have all the cats and
we
all
had
the
cats and dogs our whole life.
I
So
know.
we just were like,
Yeah. Yeah, like I do like dogs. I don't mind them. Like, and there's some really good dogs out there, but I'm just like, I think I think I'm a cat person as well. Do you know what I mean? Like I just like I value my like solo time. I'm kind of like, you know,
Yeah.
like, you know, they've got like the golden retriever personalities or whatever, and I'm just like house cat, happy.
yeah. And then I'm the golden retriever personality.
Golden retriever, and I'm the house cat. That's what that is my personality to a T.
So what has been the most interesting question you have been asked to ask the rods?
Most interesting.
Or something that you're like, okay, didn't think I was gonna ever.
Well, I asked her about the Bigfoot one, or sorry, about the other one, but yeah, is there anything else that you've
There's always ones that I'm like, some people come up with like really, really creative questions, and those always kind of stick out to me. Like, I think one was for me, it's sort of been a little bit of a religious like delve into like theories, but one was if Virgin Mary had been inseminated by aliens to get pregnant.
Wow, that
Appreciate that.
that is a question.
I'm
And
sure.
But
Yeah. Like, yeah. You only do with what that information with what you get, right? It's like, and then once you answer it, you're like, okay, sure. Oh yeah, you're so cute because you're like, you always say thank you, which I think is like so respectful to all the spirits. Do you know what I mean? Like for them, like showing up. I love it. When you get those questions, are there any that you just are like, I'm not asking that?
yes, so I like try to keep it positive, high vibration, like lighthearted, because that's just kind of the spirituality I like to delve into. Like, but there's a lot of stuff around like is California going to have a giant earthquake? Like, I'm not going to ask that because A, I don't want to know. And if the answer is yes, like, what good does that do to people for
That's
people? So,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, I try
Like
and,
fear mongering.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like demons and like all that kind of stuff. Like, sure, acknowledging that stuff exists and like, what can we do to stay positive and like get out of that? But like, I don't want that to be the focus. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is so good though. And I've seen a lot of mediums and people that connect with spirit in the realms with having some pretty clear boundaries of like, I'm never going to tell you when you're going to die. I'm not going to tell you how you're going to die. And I'm not going to sit like, I'm not going to look into the really dark stuff because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to you. It's not going to matter.
That's actually one of the people I follow on TikTok. I think you guys interviewed her, Emily Dexter, right?
Oh,
Emily
yes. Dexter. Yeah.
She's always
Liker of words. Sorry. Yeah.
I always like see her post and I'm like, yes, I'm following this guidance because this is like so spot on. It is so, yeah, I don't want to know. You don't need to know.
You don't need to know.
Exactly.
She's, and I mean this, Megan, like she is phenomenal. She's fantastic. She is so, she's genuinely like such a like a well-connected as well as what's the word? Like she's just genuinely a nice human. Do you know what I mean? But like you can tell
Like
she's
exactly
like
who you see online. She's exactly that when you
exactly.
talk.
Yeah, and it's
Oh,
like, you know how some people do have like not necessarily a facade, but you know, they have like the, you know, the starring role kind of when they're on, you know, but then when you see them outside that, it is a different like different person. She's truly who she is, who she presents herself to. Like
I love that
she's
so much.
yeah, she's a lovely gal. And I mean, I hope that draws a connection for you. Like she's fantastic. If you ever wanted to reach out to her, I know she'd be willing to speak with you. She's fantastic. She was fun to work with. We've got to interview her twice now, I think.
Nice, yes.
Yeah. And I know we'll have her back again because like she's just like, yeah, she's got some wonderful, wonderful bits. But yeah, her weekly reels or weekly
I
displays
follow
for
be like, hey, the forecast for the week. Oh, okay. She's so spot on too.
She is. I know. She's like, and if you've been feeling down, I'm like, how'd you know?
like, how did you know? Don't look at me. Exactly. Oh, full moon. Yeah, I know. But no, she makes it make sense, which is so nice. But also, like, I shouldn't say dumbs it down either, but she definitely like puts it into layman's terms where you're like, this is what's happening. This is why it's happening. And this is like, you know, so yeah, I love her. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I met her through TikTok as well. The same kind of thing. I was like, I love your videos. And I just put it out there into the universe. I was like, maybe she'll reply, maybe she won't. And you replied so fast that I don't even know. Did I call you, Brittany? I don't know. I think I was
You
like,
didn't,
guess
you
who?
didn't have a second to breathe, that's for sure.
No, because we booked it pretty quick. It was so good. Anyways, yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
No.
Okay.
Now I guess because we're gonna be doing our like readings in a little bit here. But I guess I was trying to like brainstorm some ideas for, you know, what we could like do tonight. Just gonna see if I have what. No, I don't. That's okay. So I was gonna see, we usually do like our poll for the collective, but now I guess I don't know what are some collective questions that we can ask the rods.
I don't know. Do you guys
Collective.
She's like, oh,
Oh,
you
yeah,
mean these? I brought my own.
I love that. I feel like a good collective question could be for this next week or for when this person is listening to this episode, is there good things coming to them shortly?
Mhm.
Or like, I don't know. What do you think?
I like it. Mind if I level set real quick to see just kind of
Do I'm gonna try
You
and
can
think
do
of like,
literally everything you want.
yeah. I'm like, is there anything I've ever wanted to ask the rods? So I'm like,
if you're with me and willing to answer some questions, could you cross the rods for yes? Yeah. Thank you. Could you open wide for no? Thank you. Could you point to the direction of your energy? Thank you. Am I speaking with an ascended master? No. Am I speaking with an archangel? Yes. Is this Gabriel? Yeah. Okay. Archangel Gabriel. Is he somebody for you guys?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's like fantastic. And in my brain, I'm like, hey, Gabriel. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Like,
Hi. Hey,
I know you're kind of like
buddy.
omnipresent, probably everywhere, but you're
That's
looking
so cool.
good.
How do
Yeah.
you even know which one? But again, that's all intuition, I'm sure too, where you're like, Let's try it out. Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
Okay,
did
yeah.
you- Okay, yeah. Before we ask a question, I'm so sorry. This is how that works. But like, yeah, when you were deciding like or figuring out who you were chatting with, did you like make out a list of like people and we're like, is it you? No. Is it you? No. Like, how did you?
I still do that. Like sometimes if it's no to everybody that I like remember in my brain, I have to go to Google and then come back to like,
Who the fuck am I talking to? Like,
sorry, I don't know all of these. There's them.
there's so many times where I'm like, when I'm doing cards, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, and this looks ridiculous, but it works.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Exactly.
Did we mess up your levels? Do you have to do it all over
I'm
again?
so sorry.
I don't know. Ask
Okay.
a question. We're
Okay.
good.
Okay, perfect. For this coming week, for the listeners that are listening to this episode, is there good things coming in the next short time?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, I'm like, I would. It's one of those things as well. I'm like, what if it says no? Like,
Well,
That's right.
it's hard to be specific because it may not. Oh, I'll have another question that can be for the collective. When it comes to jobs in your workplace, is positive things on their way?
Yes, thank you.
A fast yes or there.
I have a general question for Ireland.
Yeah.
Will the Irish good weather stick around a while longer, or will it be rainy? Oh yeah, no.
Sorry.
I knew that. I knew that, and I was like,
Will it
hey,
be raining? It's Ireland.
Is it what their app say though? Is it like good? How accurate is Gabriel here?
exactly.
so
Like,
funny.
who are you kidding? Exactly. Like, you're so funny. Exactly.
Oh my
What
gosh.
else? Hmm. Like, this is where I'm like, I didn't prepare any questions because I'm like, I don't know.
But it's like exciting because you're like, oh God, I don't know. I'm
Yeah. Do you do personal
Uh,
readings as well, or just like the YouTube, or do people hire you out? Or no? That sounded
No.
awful. Do they book with you sessions with you? I was like, do they hire you? Like that doesn't sound right.
and they pay you
They give you
money.
money. Do they exchange? Sorry.
No. I love you guys. No, so I don't book like live sessions right now because I still have a job. But if people come into my Instagram DMs, I will occasionally go and do those. They're free. I do accept tips if people feel called. Totally not required, but because it's very much on and as I have time and capacity to do it, which is not
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally
Well,
fair.
that's kind
Yeah.
of you for putting that out there, but I do hope people tip you because it's an energy exchange.
Mhm.
thank you.
So
Yeah. I like.
And there's and
Sorry?
need help.
Yeah.
There's totally can't and need help, and I don't want to like be the barrier because of money or anything like that. So
Yeah.
totally.
That's very like very good of you. I like that.
Yeah.
I know I have like a strict rule. Like when I do like my services, like an exchange needs to be made of some sort. Like it doesn't have to be money, but like something. Do you know what I mean? I feel like energy is always so important to trade when it comes to
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So I definitely see the value in like in offering like the tip or the coffee fund that's on your website. Like, yeah, that's absolutely fantastic because it's like
That's a good idea. Coffee
it doesn't
fund.
have to be much. It just has to be something to like again to trade the energy. That's my
Really?
rule, anyways.
Where's your favorite place to get coffee?
mine, oh gosh, I don't know. My default's probably Starbucks just because they're so like convenient everywhere. But like, oh, actually, Mercury Coffee is really good. I don't know. I think they might be local to Seattle still, but they're very good.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Seattle is like the best coffee, does it not? But I mean, aren't they the home or the birthplace of Starbucks?
They are. The HQ
Yeah.
is here.
Yeah,
But,
I
like,
was gonna say.
I feel like there's like better coffee in like Italy. You guys
Oh,
had
yeah.
coffee,
Yeah.
Italian coffee.
Oh, where is it?
No, but I'm gonna need to because I'm a coffee fanatic.
Yeah.
It's so
Where somebody I know was somewhere. What a great story. Somebody I know
Good
was
story.
somewhere and they had really good coffee. That's it.
So-
I don't know. Can't remember the name of the spot.
The end.
The end. This is
Good.
I feel like I'm not kidding. I'm like, well, okay. Very cool. No, that's good. Yeah, there's no Starbucks here, which is like awful because, but I mean, is it
Was
awful?
Starbucks
I
is
don't
like 3 minutes away, Jess? Or how far
Yeah,
is
there's
it?
one. There's actually there might be one in like the city, about an hour away, pardon me. And then there's one about 45 minutes, but it's like looking at things in euros is different than working like in dollars. Do you know what I mean? Like even in Canadian dollars versus US dollars, like it's different. Where I'm like paying like €7 is like $10, 10 Canadian dollars for like the same thing. But they've got local coffee stuff here, which is like the best, the best. But anyways, coffee. On that, well, yeah, that's okay. I was gonna ask a personal question, but I actually forgot it, so it's fine. We'd be sitting here for a while. I don't even know. I literally don't know what I'm doing with my hands, guys. Like I don't know what's going on, but I'm like very
You are
excited.
it's so funny. Jessica gets like so cute like this when she's so excited. She's like, I
Cute.
just can't brain.
I'm just like, what am I doing? I don't know. I'm so sorry. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so as we do every episode, we do pull our card to the collective. So you're welcome to participate in this thing if you have a tarot deck or an oracle deck or whatever you want to pull. Brittany's been doing her thing with a different deck every episode this season, and I'm like my old trusty, my Kim Kranz Animal Spirit, the wild unknown Animal Spirit deck. I'm so sorry.
Okay, Jessica. It's gonna be okay.
Okay.
Maybe we should ask the odds. It's just gonna be okay.
Is she gonna be okay? Exactly. It's just gonna be okay. Okay, she'll be fine.
Yay!
Just take a deep
I saw
breath.
them go like this for a second. I was like, oh no.
Exactly. I know. Oh yeah. Okay. No, while you have them, I'm like, and this is the thing. I'm like, I should, as you know, because you don't want to ask personal questions because you're like, it's selfish. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's fine. I'm just one being in this big old world. But like, will I be okay? Okay.
Yeah.
It's
There
gonna be
you go.
fine. Will I?
Ooh,
Ooh, actually,
I have a question that it's still up to free will. It'll change at any moment. But will Jessica move back to Canada within the next 2 years?
it's like it didn't even want to answer there. It looked
Yeah,
like
it
was
wasn't
like,
wanting to.
I
Like
don't
Jessica's
know.
allowed to have free will. She's allowed to have free will.
Are
But
you still excited about it? Because that might be the hesitation.
Sorry?
Are you still like undecided about it? Because that might be the hesitation.
Not really. I mean, we have a house
gonna
in
be there for a
Canada.
while.
This is kind of our biggest thing. Like outside of family, like it's the house. But do you want to ask like, will we sell our house in the next 2 years?
Yes.
Ooh.
And that's a
Yay.
good thing. I would like that, but
Yeah.
because
then,
it's just
then you just don't have to deal with it, and then you can
just
come
the
back
deal with
and
it.
forth
Will
as you
we
go.
do you want to see if we'll sell our house in the next year? Maybe. Will we sell our house in the next year?
No.
No.
2 years, totally fine. That's fine.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It gives you some time.
That
You can
works.
tinker around on it and make it beautiful, and then it'll be great.
Exactly. It would be great. It's one of those things of like, oh, it's just a stress that's been sitting there. We're renting it out. It's a long story, but I mean, we're like, oh my God, it's like the last thing that ties us. It makes everything more complicated. But
Yeah. What do you
there's
do,
worse
right?
things in life. You know, I have the benefit of saying we own a house, and that's even if it's not going great, it's still stuff we
Well,
own.
at least for now, you have got great renters, and in the future, you'll continue to have great renters, and
Exactly. Yeah. That's all I can hope for.
it'll be okay.
There you go. And
Yeah.
there's my trauma dump of the day.
It's also, it feels like it should sell because like the housing market is not great.
You would think
Right.
so. I guess I should have asked, will we make any money on this house? Will I make any money on this house? Oh, very good.
Yay! Yeah. Or will they just give
Or
it
will
away?
we walk away? Will we just hand the keys to them and be like, bye?
Here's the thing. Throws at the doors.
No, we like long
Just
story
take it.
short, there's like it's like do you know what 3-level split is or 4-level split? It's like, yeah, so we have one of those. It's like, so there's one part of the basement that's completely submerged underground and one that's half and then a few stories. But like there's exterior damage on the bottom level that's like caused the walls to like concave. It's safe to be in, but it's not covered by insurance. And apparently this house is like 50 years old and we've only owned the house for 5 years. And apparently all of the damage has happened after we bought the house because our inspector didn't catch it. So
I'm so sorry.
I know, it's great. It's really good. So you're like,
It's one of those things that you're like, I wish this was a quick fixed, but they're looking at like 20 to 30 grand. And you're like, ha.
Or more just to fix it. And then it's like, okay. Anywho, there's my trauma. Okay. Anywho, let's
But
see.
you know
Let's
what?
see.
Got some good messages from the rods.
Yes.
Exactly. There's hope in this world.
The
You know,
deck that I
whatever.
chose.
Yeah. I'm not afraid of anything. I've learned that. Like, it's like,
No, you did it because for how long, Jessica, you were worried about getting your visa, and that was like you
Yeah.
went through hell and
yeah,
back for
exactly.
your visa.
Now I'm
and
here.
Ireland.
Now I'm here, and I was at the beach, at the lake, in the beautiful Muckers Park, and I got to
Exactly.
sit and look at the mountains and the water, and that was just unbelievable.
Yeah, and your kids can play with spiders without a care in the world. So it's
Blech. I know. Okay.
okay. So the deck, okay, you go first. You go
I
first.
went first. I'm so sorry. So I
That's
pulled
okay.
the wolf.
Yes.
Pardon me. Which is an earth spirit. Now, when it comes to like how I read this specific book, I don't have it memorized because it's kind of like, you know, when your brain reaches capacity. The tarot is a whole different program for me. That one's based on feeling, whereas this one, again, I have to kind of like connect with it. So I'm just gonna read it out. So, guardian of family and tribe, activism, ritual. The wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarianism efforts, or teaching. The wolf gets into trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their parents' footsteps. Although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following: embrace all, exclude none. So when we're in balance, we're reliable, democratic, and fearless. When we're out of balance, we're judgmental or dominating. To bring into balance, practice letting go.
Nice.
I feel that.
I chose the deck. I was telling this to Jessica before we had even started. I went into my witchy room and looked at all my decks, and I was like, which one today? And then all I heard was that one reel being like, she was a fairy. So I have Oracle for fairies.
It's
It's like, okay, let's do it. And the card that flew out of my deck is the abundance card, which I'm so excited
Abundance.
to-
It's
like, oh,
beautiful.
yeah, prepare yourself for incoming abundance. Release any mental blocks you may have. In the fairyland and human land, there is enough abundance for everyone. So the
Yeah.
arrival of this card tells you abundance is on its way. Perhaps you'll receive an unexpected gift or a cash windfall. It could also be a spiritual gift. Whichever form it takes, just make sure that you're ready for it. Make sure you're in the place of accepting and that you're receptive to it. You believe and you know you're worthy to receive any abundance. Work on this if you feel this could be an issue for you. By feeling truly worthy, you can be receptive to the flow and blessings of the abundance in our lives. If you feel unworthy, ask yourself why and be honest in your answer. For this is the key to the door of abundance from the universe, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Often feelings of unworthiness can stem from childhood, and facing these feelings can sometimes be challenging and painful. Talking through your feelings with a trusted friend could reap many rewards in shifting any negative reviews of yourself and of your worthiness to receive. The fairy of abundance says there's enough abundance in the universe for everyone, and you have just as much right to it as everyone else. So prepare yourself for incoming abundance and enjoy. So that was nice. That's good. That kind of like with your rods too. Like good things are coming. Let's go.
Things are coming. Exactly. Yeah. Obviously. That's so good. Yeah.
Yay.
Was
Oh,
there
I
any
love-
was there anything that you wanted to do there, Megan? Like I said, you've definitely contributed with those rods. Like, thank you so much for doing that for us. But did you want to do a reading or anything like that, or have any
I don't
vibes to share?
right now, but no.
And that's okay. You know what? Is there anything right now that you'd like to tell our followers that you have going on that one, where can they find you? Two, do you have anything special coming up that people should be like, I need to subscribe to her things and like be on her wait list or stuff or whatever you
Yes, I love that. Okay, so you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and now Facebook at Solar Glow Meditations or solarglowmeditations.com. the one sort of coming up in February, I'm going to be at the Conscious Life Expo as a keynote speaker. So if you guys or your audience want to come, I'll be doing live demos, I'll be giving a speech, and I'm very excited for it. And I'm happy to like just meet you outside of whatever the conference is too. So
Yeah.
Where
yeah.
is the conference located?
It's in Los Angeles, California.
Wow.
So if you guys
That sounds
Well,
pretty freaking cool.
yeah. That's so neat. Oh my gosh.
I
Okay,
didn't know
perfect.
something like that even existed. We got to figure that out.
Like
We
what?
gotta-
There's an expo?
Yeah. What do you mean? We need
Yeah.
to get
The most Saskatoon ever did is like in a basement of a hotel, and it's like, there's some vendors.
It was like too much energy. And then not even there. There's also like half a hall at Prairie Land, but it's like
That's
so
true.
much energy in one room that you leave and you're like sick.
Yeah.
You're like,
That's
I did not ground myself before going in there.
yeah. It's
Say that one more time, sorry.
I'm gonna have to like bring all the crystals and just like the list of speakers. I'm like starstruck. Like I'm speaking next to these people. Like I'm not. Am I good this cool now? I don't know.
right. So, can
That
you
is-
sign my clear quartz? Like,
Oh, wow, that is amazing.
that's so
Oh, I'm
nice.
excited for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Honestly,
I
yeah,
cannot
thank
wait to
you.
see what's next. That is amazing.
Yeah, this is so good. I'm like, honestly, I'm so thankful for you for coming on. And if you're ever like willing to come back, you are welcome back anytime. We'd love to have you. We like to
Yeah.
like dive into random things, but it's also nice to just have somebody to like include in our banter, which is like the play of it all, you know? So, I don't
Yeah,
know.
this
Thank you
is fun.
so much. Thank you. It should be fun. You know, that's what we try to do anyways. But
We do try.
exactly.
Well, Jessica, where can everybody find us?
They can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Basic Banter for Witches, or email us.
Yeah.
Like, where else do they find us? Oh, Reddit. We're on Reddit. Remember, we
Oh
always
yeah,
forget.
Reddit.
Which
That's right,
we don't
yeah.
know what we're doing on there, Megan. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We're just chilling.
Someone
We're
tell us
just-
what's cool.
Because I have no idea.
No, exactly. I'm like a TikTok Reddit person. Do you know? Somebody will tell me what it says. It's fine. But
I
otherwise, you can email us at basicbanterforwitches@gmail.com.
Amazing. And then if you ever want to submit any questions so we can do an anonymous card read every month, our link tree, or no, sorry, it's in our bio on Instagram, right?
Yeah, Instagram or
You go to
Yeah,
that
the show notes.
anonymous, what is it even? It's a Google Note? What is
yeah,
it called?
it's the same thing. It's a Google like note or Google form that people can fill out
Okay.
anonymously, and then we'll do the monthly card pull. So
Yeah.
stay tuned
Yes,
for
it
your
is.
answers.
Yeah.
Right
Amazing.
on.
Great.
Well,
And we'll do
thanks.
TikTok card soon. We just don't know how to do that. So we're gonna get there.
It'll be so good. Right on.
Okay, amazing. Well, Megan, you hold on for one more second, but we're gonna say goodbye to everyone. Have a
Yeah.
wonderful week, and we will see you next
See you
time.
soon. Bye.
Bye now. Bye. Bye.